Hey guys, it's Kevin here from Formula Performance. We got something a little different here. Zach was gifted a 2013 Chevy Volt from his brother-in-law, and we're going to see what it's like to own a roughly 12-year-old hybrid car.
Well, it's not really a hybrid car, Kevin. It's more of an electric car that's got a gas-powered range extender is what they call it. So it's got about a 25 to 30 mile range, all electric. It's always electric motors that power the wheels. After the battery is depleted, the gas-powered motor generates electricity to power the electric motors and drive the wheels.
So we're going to just take a quick look around the vehicle and see what it's like. Like I said previously, the car's got roughly 180,000 miles on it. It's roughly 12 years old. So it's got some dents and dings. Zach's going to pop the hood here just to see what it's like under the hood. As you can tell, you can see some of the orange power wires.
This is the electric motors under here. The 1.4 liter internal combustion motor is here. There's no traditional transmission, but it does require oil, obviously.
Now Zach was telling me that roughly engine hours, not miles, is used to calculate when the oil needs to be changed. Obviously you should always check your oil on any long road trip. Zach is currently using this vehicle primarily for his road trips to Pennsylvania, which average around
about 400 miles each way.
400 miles each way.
If you remember, Black Betty, the 97 Jeep Grand Cherokee, did the trip for about 60,000 miles, and now we're going a little bit of an electric, getting about 40 miles per gallon on the road trips.
So this is an upgrade for Zach. Everything works on the vehicle: AC, heat. It's got ABS. It's got a what do you call it? Active cruise control.
Adaptive. Yeah.
Adaptive cruise control. And we're just going to take a look around the outside. Again, the car's got a few dents and dings, little scratches here and there, but overall for its age and mileage, it's in excellent shape.
One thing I will tell you, in the front, it is nice and roomy, but because of the design of the battery packs, it's only a 4-seater. If you come back and check out the back, you can see it's better than a Corvette.
But it's got bucket seats in the back like it has in the front. More sporty feel to it.
I believe they called it executive seating in the back. Roomy hatch.
Plenty of room for storage, groceries, bikes, whatever, with the seats down. Now Zach's going to go over some of the electric charging options that he has.
So from the factory, GM included a 110 outlet for your traditional home. It takes about 12 hours to charge. You can get a 240 charger, which will charge the car and give you your 30-mile range in about 4 hours.
Now Zach also has this Tesla destination charger adapter.
So if you're at an Airbnb, you can use a home Tesla charger, not the superchargers, but a home charger will plug in here, and then this will plug into the car for charging. Charging ports over here, and you would just plug in.
Perfect.
All right, should we get in it and see it purr?
Talk about the battery mod real quick.
So this car had a check engine light because of a faulty ABS sensor in the front and a faulty computer code. There was one of the 8 cells in the battery had gone bad. So there was a computer mod, and you were able to flash the computer into believing that the 7 remaining cells, the good cells, were all it needs. The range was cut on all electric from about 40 miles down to about 25. So obviously some performance, and one of the benefits of this car was originally with 40 miles of range, you could theoretically commute to and from work on only maybe a half a gallon of gas. as opposed to 4 or 5 gallons of gas in a traditional car.
So we're gonna go for a quick test drive and see what it's like.
Start it up. And we are running.
Listen to that Hemi under the hood, guys. That's 375 horsepower, 420 pounds of torque. No, I'm just kidding, guys, here. It's only got a
1.4 liter.
1.4 liter,
Car
four-cylinder.
did come pretty well acclimated with heated seats, obviously backup camera.
Fairly modern options on this vehicle.
It does have a few different driving modes. This particular car, will not change driving modes, so that's something we're going to work on. But you can either put it in drive or in L. Drive will drive like a normal car and continue to coast. L will be more of an aggressive regeneration on the brakes. So it offers more of the one-pedal driving features of electric cars. So this car had 160,000 miles on it before its first brake job.
It may not pick up on film here or on sound, but basically there is no noise coming from the gas engine at this point. It is off still.
40.
It is
quick acceleration for a 12-year-old commuting car.
definitely can get out of its own way, definitely has passing power, safe on the highway, can easily do highway speeds for long distances with roughly 40 miles per gallon on long road trips. Zach is experiencing about 25 miles per range.
It's nice for if you're just
town
if you're
on
just
electric.
If you're just driving around town, you have it plugged in, you're going to be not using any gas. If you go more than 25 miles, then you're going to be getting about 40 miles from there per gallon.
As you can see, guys, typical rush hour traffic here on Long Island. Right now we're at a red light, no engine noise, whisper quiet. Everything is running off the electric battery packs. Zach roughly has, how much range do you have on your electric at this point?
18 miles.
18 miles at this point. Now the car hasn't been plugged in a couple of days. Zach was on a road trip with his Tahoe and was not left in overnight to be charged. So obviously you're going to lose a little bit of range after a few days when the car is not plugged in. And of course, after 12 or so years, you're going to get a little bit of battery degradation. You're going to lose a little bit of capacity.
Now the range extender motor, it does have obviously needs a gas tank. It has about a 9.5 gallon gas tank, and it does suggest running, or it does require premium gas. Apparently there is sensors that if you put a lower octane in, it does not run well. If you see here on this road trip, I've gone about 76 miles, used 0 gas. So the computer's saying we're getting 250 miles per gallon, which is obviously not accurate because it's electricity we're using, not gas.
Now, I drove this car previously back from a small road trip that Zach and I went on to go snowboarding, and one thing I noticed that was quite odd is that the engine will accelerate at a quicker rate than what you would use with your input on the throttle. It catches you off guard.
The gas motor runs independent of your driving. There's almost what they call a rubber band effect. If you hit the gas and take off, or if you hit the accelerator, it's not a gas pedal, you hit the accelerator and start moving, a few seconds later the gas engine will kick on, but it won't rev up like a traditional motor does as you accelerate.
Now, roughly you could pick up one of these vehicles for about, what, 7K, you think, in this condition?
I'd say 5 to 7.
5 to 7K. Obviously, things like body condition and how well it's been maintained will factor into that. But from Zach's experience from the last couple of weeks, it's definitely changed his commuting experience on his long distance drives. it saved him over $100 on his long road trips, and that savings multiplied over 12 months is going to be, you know, a couple of grand, I'm going to assume, with the amount of road trips that Zach takes. So far, the gas engine has not actually turned on yet.
No, it won't turn on for another 7. Well, it'll probably take about 20-25 miles. It estimates 17, but depending on how you drive, if you drive more aggressively, you're going to get less mileage. If you drive more gingerly and allow time for it to regenerate on its own, it will hold that battery, and 17 could be 25 miles. I did make a round trip. When I left the house, it said it was 22 miles till electric was gone, and I made a 32.5 mile before the engine kicked on, the gas engine kicked on.
Now we're just doing a short trip around the neighborhood just to get a feel of the vehicle. Now the vehicle drives very nicely. Most people would consider this a modern driving experience. Now, coming from a gas vehicle, some of the things may be odd at your first driving. That doesn't make any sense.
It drives a little differently. It responds differently, and it wants you to drive differently. It doesn't want you to rev the gas till you get to having to slam on your brakes. It makes you try to anticipate how you're driving to extend your range. Kind of makes it a game.
Yep. Now, people may hypermile these things to try to eke out as best mileage as possible. Currently, it is. Currently, this vehicle has one bad cell in it. We hope that another cell will not come up bad. If that is the case, a check engine light will come on, and you'll have to do a little bit of an engineering mod to turn that bad cell off, or to trick the computer into thinking that cell is no more active.
Yeah, no, that's very accurate. The issue with this is going to be more computer and electronic things going wrong, as opposed to mechanical things with you know, the traditional Jeeps and, you know, the straight inline six. You know, very easy to get into things and replace mechanical parts. This is like trying to work on a first generation iPod.
Yeah, so the amount of tech and diagnostic equipment that the average person is going to need is going to definitely have to be upgraded from their normal stash of Craftsman tools. So, not to scare anybody into buying a newer vehicle, but just realize that with newer vehicles comes newer diagnostic equipment. Lucky for us that this vehicle has been very reliable for the owners.
Been well maintained, and
at the end of the day, it's a Chevy product. It's a domestic product. Prices tend to be towards the more reasonable side than an imported product such as Toyota or Lexus or such. The common parts, go to your local Chevy dealer or even online, and you can find replacement parts. This vehicle was produced for a number of years.
2012 to 2019, I believe. Not a very they weren't selling a lot of them, but they did make a second generation. This is the first generation.
I could be wrong on this, but I believe Chevy actually lost money on these vehicles between the development costs. They were pushing the edge of technology and what the buyers wanted at that time. Now, if this vehicle was produced today, the outcome might be slightly different, but they've gone on. They made the Bolt after this, which I believe is discontinued at this point.
Correct. Chevy used this as a staging ground or a proving ground on a concept, and didn't really they put a lot of money and engineering into it, but maybe didn't put the advertising dollars into promoting it. And you know, a lot of people were more comfortable with the Toyota Prius. They had a head start. They had a great reputation. GM, from what I was understanding, spent about $85,000 per Generation 1 Chevy Volt. They were sold for about, I believe, $40,000, so it was a money-losing operation. The second generation they made for about $50,000 per unit vehicle, and there's some quality concerns I've been told between the two. The first generation's sometimes deemed better built.
Guys, this is kind of our first entry into this type of vehicle, so we're going to see how this goes. We'll give you guys updates, and with any luck, Zach has to do little to no maintenance on this vehicle. Oil changes aside, like Zach had previously said, the brakes were only done once in this vehicle in its life so far, and with any luck, Zach won't have to do brakes ever again on this. From what I understand online, these vehicles go anywhere from the 200,000 mile-ish range to about 300K-ish. Now, there may be some higher mileage examples out there, but again, I don't know if that has to go with a original battery pack or powertrain or motors and such. Nothing major has been replaced on this vehicle. Guys, if you like this content, found it useful, helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and also check out our links in the descriptions. Thanks again.
Thank you, buddies. Have a good day. So it's an electric vehicle with a gas-powered generator.
Okay.
That generates electricity to power the electric motors.
Okay. Let me go with that. Yeah.
Toyota Prius, for example, the gas engine and the electric motors run in tandem to power the wheels.
Yeah, this doesn't.
So the first 25 miles an hour in a Prius is electric, then the gas motors kick in to keep going.
Okay.
This is always electric, powering the motor.
That's the wheels.
Powering the wheels.
All right.
The drivetrain. Hey guys, welcome back to Formula Performance.
I like it.
Nice Sunday afternoon.
It's not Sunday, but
Oh fuck, it's not. It's Monday. I didn't go to work today.
no.